Hi there, you and me and a cup of tea. Here we go. So, happy International Women's Day. Happy Pisces New Moon. I usually try and do these videos, well, at least the last two videos I did the day before so that I could upload them on Tuesday, but I had a lot of things going on. I had a sick kid, and even as early as last year, that would have stopped me from doing anything. I would have just chucked it all to bad luck and just let it go. Being up late night with a little kid threw my schedule off even this morning. So I slept in, but as is my custom on our conversations and on the new moon, I like to pull an Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle card. And today, rather than separate it out and tune in specifically to the element of water, which is Pisces, I just shuffled the entire deck and pulled out one card. And the card that came out today is Power of Choice. That's a spirit card. Power of Choice. We have a choice to either let things defeat us or overcome them. Like I said earlier, as early as last year, I would have let not being able to film the video in advance defeat me, and I wouldn't have done a video at all. But through my 5K training last year, I learned that there is something to be said about choosing an if-then scenario, using my power of choice to have an if-then scenario. For example, if it's raining, then I will do 10 minutes of training on my elliptical machine. If it's cold, then I will choose to do a exercise video. Something that keeps me in the energy. And that's what I did for my 5K. And that is what I'm doing for this video series. If I don't get to film it the day before, then I will still film it and get it up later on in the day. So that's what I'm doing. And to help me along, I've got my Maleficent mug. And this is probably my absolute favorite mug. I want to turn that around there so you can see it's got her little minion there and her in her dragon form. That's probably my favorite. Her in her classic dragon form. And then her in all of her full power there. It's got a little, you can see I've broken it. And my husband very nicely glued the handle back on for me so that I could use it. It's got the spinning wheel, and it's got her. So that's my Maleficent mug. And in my mug today is Breakfast in Paris. It's a black tea blend from Stash Tea. It's really good iced. Excuse me. It's really good iced. It's really good hot. I like it with a little bit of sugar. I like it without cream too. You can use cream in it, but I like it with or without. It's really, really tasty. How did I do last week? Well, last week again was cold, so I chose those other options. If it's too cold, then I will do this. If it's rainy, then I will do this. So I did an exercise video, and I did 10 minutes on my elliptical, and like I said before, elliptical it just feels really, really like, oh my God, it's too much just to do. Like I'm never going to make it through 10 minutes. It just seemed like 10 minutes was forever. So definitely going to look into more options to change that up for myself. I've gotten onto YouTube. I found some exercise videos that I can follow along with and at least get some steps in there and get some cross training in there. Get some more high energy aerobic training so that I can condition my lungs and my heart a little bit more for the increased pace that comes from a walk jog rather than just plain walking. Today, as a matter of fact, as soon as I finish filming this video, this week is the official first week of training. I have, I think my training program is it's either 18 or 20 weeks. 3 days a week, 18 to 20 weeks. This is where the earth component comes in to focusing on your goal. I've got all of my training schedule laid out for me so that I know it's going to take 18 to 20 weeks for me to be prepared for the marathon, the half marathon. Now, what's really going to be important for me to do, and this goes for you too, whatever your goal is, whatever you're dreaming of manifesting in your life, having some kind of written tracking for you to be able to see, so that on those days that you don't feel like doing anything, you can have that record to go back to say, hey, that didn't seem like a whole lot. Because when we say we don't feel like it, it's usually, I know for me at least, and I'm going to talk very specifically for me. When I say I don't feel like it, it's because I have not prepared myself. That's number one. I haven't laid my things out. I haven't gotten everything where it needs to be in order for me to just make it an automatic thing. Or it feels like it's going to take too much time. Like I'm doing something else and I would just prefer not to take that time. So in those instances, that's why I came up with the if-then. If I don't feel like it, I give myself permission to only do 10 minutes. If after 10 minutes I really don't want to continue, then I don't force myself to continue. I'll break up my 30-minute training schedule into 3 10-minute increments throughout the day. I'll do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes afternoon, 10 minutes in the evening. That way I've still gotten my training in, but it didn't feel like it took a whole lot of my time. So making sure that you have some kind of tracking in place so that you can combat the I don't feel like it. The other thing that comes up that I wanted to talk to you about was acting yourself into a feeling rather than feeling yourself into an action. Really, that comes from, and I can't remember what training I continually listening to uplifting and positive and motivational things, so that way I can keep my energy levels up so that I can be able to do the things that I want to do. This is something that I want to do. So letting that temporary feeling of I don't feel like it get in the way is really detrimental to that long-term vision that I have of myself completing that half marathon in 3.5 hours. So really focusing on taking the actions so that I can get into the feeling rather than giving into that I don't feel like it really does make a huge difference in how I show up. If you want to write a book and you don't feel like writing today, you're never going to get that headway. You're never going to get that motivation. You're never going to get further than just the idea, that seed of wanting. And that acting your way into the feeling gets you from that place of wanting into that space of actually manifesting. So that's all I have for you today. Remember to use your power of choice. Remember that you have the choice to be great. You have the choice to take a few simple steps. Use that power of choice. Oh, and I wanted to talk, let me say a couple little things about the Pisces new moon here. Pisces has the intention, the vision to dream the world into being. So when you are using your power of choice, ask yourself, how good can it get? how can I make this even better? Imagine how fantastic it's going to be to have that dream, that thing that only you could see in your mind's eye in your life. Imagine what an impact you're going to have on so many people that are in your world right now. You're going to give them, by you holding on to that vision, by you imagining how great it can be, by you taking action and acting your way into feelings, you're going to give so many people permission to act their way into feeling and make their dreams manifest. And the world's just going to be a better place. If we're all doing that, the world's just going to be a better place. Now, guaranteed, there are going to be people who are still going to just not want to manifest, and they're just going to complain about their lives, and they're just going to complain about how they can't have their dream, and they're going to come up with all sorts of excuses. And that obviously is not your responsibility. But there is somebody who absolutely, positively needs you to step up into that dream space, to imagine how good it can absolutely get, and to push forward through any obstacles so they can say, hey, if they can do it, then so can I. And that's kind of what I'm doing too. I want to motivate you and inspire you. If I can do this, if I can get up and train for this half marathon, you absolutely can take that little baby step towards your dreams and your goals. And so I'm going to end this video now, and I'm going to go for a walk, and I'm going to get my training on. I will see you next week for You and Me and a Cup of Tea. Bye.